Cass County, Nebraska sheriff says an apparent attempted child abduction was a false alarm. We first told you about the incident last week near the public pool in Eagle, Nebraska. The sheriff's office says after a thorough and exhaustive investigation, no credible threat to the public's safety was found. The office says investigators do appreciate the public's overwhelming support to provide possible leads in the investigation. They encourage parents to talk with children about safety and to be aware of their surroundings.